everyone, and welcome to another episode of Verse by Verse, a place where we dive deep into the poetry and stories that reflect, define, and inspire our lives. I'm Kate Martinez, your host, coming to you with a passion for words and the worlds they create.
One sun rose on us today, kindled over our shores, peeking over the Smokies, greeting the faces of the Great Lakes, spreading a simple truth across the Great Plains, then charging across the Rockies. One light, walking up rooftops, under each one a story told by our silent gestures moving behind windows. My face, your face, millions of faces in morning's mirrors, each one yawning to life, crescendoing into our day. Pencil yellow school buses, the rhythm of traffic lights, fruit stands, apples, limes, and oranges, arrayed like rainbows begging our praise. Silver trucks heavy with oil or paper, bricks or milk, teeming over highways alongside us, on our way to clean tables, read ledgers, or save lives, to teach geometry or ring up groceries as my mother did for 20 years so I could write this poem. All of us, vital as the one light we move through, the same light on blackboards with lessons for the day, equations to solve, history to question, or atoms imagined. The I have a dream we keep dreaming, or the impossible vocabulary of sorrow that won't explain the empty desks of 20 children marked absent today and forever. Many prayers, but one light breathing color into stained glass windows, life into the faces of bronze statues, warmth onto the steps of our museums and park benches as mothers watch their children slide into the day. One ground, our ground, rooting us to every stalk of corn, every head of wheat sown by sweat and hands gleaning coal or planting windmills in deserts and hilltops that keep us warm, hands digging trenches, routing pipes and cables, hands as worn as my father's cutting sugar cane so my brother and I could have books and shoes. The dust of farms and deserts, cities and plains, mingled by one wind, our breath. Breathe. Hear it through the day's gorgeous din of honking cabs, buses launching down avenues, the symphony of footsteps, guitars, and screeching subways, the unexpected songbird on your clothesline. Here, squeaky playground swings, trains whistling, or whispers across cafe tables. Here, the doors we opened for each other all day, saying hello, shalom, buongiorno, howdy, namaste, or buenos dias, in a language my mother taught me, in every language spoken into one wind carrying our lives without prejudice, as these words break from my lips. One sky, since the Appalachians and Sierras claimed their majesty, and the Mississippi and Colorado worked their way to the sea, think the work of our hands, weaving steel into bridges, finishing one more report for the boss on time, stitching another wound or uniform, the first brush stroke on a portrait, or the last floor on the Freedom Tower, jutting into the sky that yields to our resilience. One sky, which we sometimes lift our eyes tired from work, some days guessing at the weather of our lives, some days giving thanks for a love that loves you back, sometimes praising a mother who knew how to give, forgiving a father who couldn't give what you wanted. We head home through the gloss of rain or ray of snow, or the plum blush of dusk, but always home. Always under one sky, our sky, and always one moon like a silent drum tapping on every rooftop, and every window of one country, all of us, facing the stars. Hope, a new constellation, waiting for us to map it, waiting for us to name it, together.
As I read this poem, I'm reminded of a brisk morning walk I took as the sun was rising. The whole world seemed to pause, bathed in a golden light, each window I passed revealing a different story, much like the poem paint scenes across America. It's this universal yet personal touch that connects us not only to the poem but to each other. Today, we're embracing the unity and diversity encapsulated in a poem that has touched hearts across the nation. One Today by Richard Blanco, written for the 57th presidential inauguration in January 2013. This poem isn't just a reflection of a day, it is a story of American experience. Before we delve deep into this beautiful piece, I want to share why it resonates with me so deeply. Just a few days ago, as I walked through the Century City Mall, I noticed how each face around me carried its own story. Amidst the chaos, there was a shared beat of existence. It reminded me of Blanco's lines, a poem of connectedness despite the diverse lives we all live. It's a reminder that every day we share the sun, the sky, and our endeavors, shaping our country together. Blanco illustrates a single day in a narrative that represents the whole journey of a nation. The poem begins with the sunrise and closes with the night sky, encapsulating a single day that feels universal yet personal. This technique helps to emphasize the unity and diversity of experiences across the country, making the large size of America feel close and personal. Each line threads together the small personal actions of individuals into a larger shared narrative, showing how these moments wave across the country. Blanco's use of imagery, connecting elements like the sun, wind, and sky with everyday human activities, glues the gap between the environment and personal experience. This vivid imagery not only paints a picture of unity, but also of the interconnectedness of our lives. Blanco's imagery brings vividness to the everyday. Descriptions of pencil yellow school buses, the rhythm of traffic lights, and fruit stands arrayed like rainbows transform ordinary details into a celebration of our daily lives.
When you first read the poem, you understand one level of it. The simplest aspects of every day happen across the entire nation. The sun rises every day, the traffic, the sales, and eventually the sun setting. But when you read the poem a second time, you start to realize it's more about how each and every day we work together, we being the American people. To truly understand the poem, we have to understand the context of the inauguration of the President of the United States. This is one of the most important days for all the nation, yet the sun will rise like normal. The school buses will travel as usual, and the rhythm of the traffic lights will not be disrupted. In the end, the gap between the personal experience of the American people is closed and is connected with the environment, the environmental experiences experienced each and every day. When we're considering the poet's background, we have to understand Blanco's Cuban heritage. The Latin origins of Blanco are very prevalent in the poem. Blanco is a perfect example of the cultural diversity that is so prevalent throughout the nation. The individuality that each and every citizen has is immense. Yet just as important is the vast amount of connections that we have. All the lights we drive by, the fruit stands we pass, and the same sun we watch rise and set. We'd like to give thanks to richardblanco.com, the Poetry Foundation, Wikipedia, and poets.org for all the information they helped to create this episode. Thank you for listening.